Hey, I'm Michael Artsis for NYPost.com here at the Media Center in Indianapolis, Indiana, across from Lucas Oil Stadium. This is the Media Center for Super Bowl 46. Standing next to me is a guy you've seen all over television in plenty of commercials. That's because he's been to every single Super Bowl. Don Chrisman, thank you so much for joining us. I know that there are three you guys have been to every Super Bowl. There used to be four. Unfortunately, one passed away. How has the game changed from when you started going to the Super Bowl?
Well, I mean, you know, first of all, the ticket price was $8, $10, and $12. That's a big change.
That is a big change.
Inflation, the NFL's version of inflation is a little different than the rest of us. But anyway, you know, the place was half full. It was like more of a college atmosphere, and I think there were more fans than corporate America. You know, it's changed dramatically.
Now, you had told me off camera that it was a little bit like a college game. They had a college band and everything when it started.
At halftime, I believe there was a college band, and maybe even in the pregame. It's getting a little hard to remember all the details.
What was your favorite Super Bowl memory of any Super Bowl moment, memory, whatever it is?
Well, as far as games go, there are actually memories outside of the game, but games go, the two that stick with me are Super Bowl III, because that really made the Super Bowl super. Most people thought the AFL wouldn't win in the first 10 or 15 years, and Joe Namath and Lenny Dawson a little bit later on proved them different. And the AFL was for real, and now it was a Super Bowl.
And what about your friends? How did you guys get together to do this?
Well, it's altogether different. Actually, the five guys I started with are no longer in the club, and along the way we met one fella standing in line going to the Carson show, Super Bowl 17. Another fellow, they wrote a story in the program, and that's how we met a gentleman who will be here tomorrow from San Francisco. And
did the players start to recognize you?
Only a few. Remember us. And
how'd you become a Patriots fan?
Well, I grew up in Rhode Island. You know, we were stuck watching the Giants for years in black and white TV in the early days because that's the only game you could get. But the Patriots came along, and that became our franchise. Of course, they were called the Boston Patriots first.
So who do you think is going to win this one?
Well, I'm taking us by 3, but I think it's going to be a nail-biter.
All right, well, Don, thank you so much for joining us on NYPost.com. What an interesting story. Been to every single Super Bowl. This will be 46. That's 45 of them. And check out the coat. You've seen them on TV. This is New York Post's coverage of the 46th Super Bowl, Super Bowl 46. I'm Michael Artsis here at the
Go
Media
Patriots.
I don't know if you can say that on New York air. But we're here at the Media Center for Super Bowl 46, right across the street from Lucas Oil Stadium, and we'll have a lot more coverage for you through the Super Bowl, through Super Bowl Monday, not Sunday, but through Monday after the Super Bowl. So stay with us. I'm Michael Artsis. Thanks for joining us.